Rob said, the players are committed. The clubs are largely accepting that these players are going to move. So these are quote-unquote easier deals to do. Maybe there are more difficult deals than this to come. And so Liverpool want to make sure they've got as much wriggle room as possible for when those come along.
Yeah, I mean, optics matter in these sorts of things as well. For the selling club, they want to be able to tell a story, but for Liverpool as well, if Liverpool get a reputation of someone who'll just pay whatever another club asks or agree to whatever the club asks, then that it does hurt you in the future, stuff like that, and it's a hard thing to then reverse. It's similar with wages. You see it, other clubs where the just expectation is, well, this is what you pay, and so I think for Liverpool, I think they enjoy their reputation as getting good deals, and getting good deals sort of for the football club, not out of ego, but out of this idea of for future negotiations. But at the same time, you've got another club, Leverkusen, have got to think about their optics. They've been very resolute on what they want for this footballer, and they've got to think not just about how it looks for this sale, but also for future ones as well. And so it's all playing a game a little bit, really, and everyone wants to not just, like Mo says, get every get the best sort of financial deal, but also how it looks to your own supporters, how it looks to existing players who might be sort of starting to look at about getting. I think having a reputation as a good selling club, I think is important as well. Internally as much as anything, really. And so it is all that complicates stuff a little bit more than does sometimes as fans we think. But I disagree slightly with Rob. I think they will both be announced this week.
Oh, I hope they'll be announced. I'm just saying I can't know, and I don't think we can know that easily. There's a third factor in all this, and the factor that can influence the timing is the player himself. Because although he's not directly involved in the negotiations on a price, at the point he agreed to sign with Liverpool, that he wanted to sign for them, they will have discussed the fact that his club needed to be paid a certain amount of money and by a certain amount of time. So Florian Wirtz and his father and whoever is involved in his team are not going to say, yeah, Liverpool, we'll come to you, you just take your time and lowball Leverkusen all summer long and we'll just sign when we sign. They will have set a long stop date by which they expect this to happen. Likewise, he'd have said with Leverkusen, you want to sell me this summer and you think you can realise a good price, well, it's got to be at a price that doesn't alienate the club I choose to go to. So there are those sort of side deals which will affect the timing of this deal, because the player will have put long stop dates on this. He won't. If I was him, I simply wouldn't tolerate either club allowing me to just be a pawn in a game that they take all summer long about doing. So if you ask me to bet, I would actually broadly agree with you that it could well happen this week. I just can't tell, and I suppose what I'm saying is I wouldn't be surprised if it took a further fortnight, but it shouldn't take much more than that. And if it does, then we might be in a worrying place.
I'm of the view, John, another moving part of this is Liverpool, and not just Liverpool, all clubs, but Liverpool are one of the biggest football clubs in the world. You have rightly argued on the radio the biggest, which, Balgay never saw coming. But the numbers, one key number is in your favour, which is that Liverpool get more social media engagement than any other club on the planet. And I think that part of what has to happen for both of these players, obviously Wirtz could well be the biggest transfer in Liverpool's history, so that's a big part of that as well, is they'll want to get their own imaging, their own branding, their own look and feel absolutely spot on. I think for both of them, we already saw some of this around the Frimpong move. We've saw it with the contract negotiations of Salah and Van Dijk. And I think, John, that another part of this will be Kerkez needs to come over. They need to do all the stuff that they're going to do. They need to get it all lined up and boxed off. The same thing will be happening with Wirtz, who was playing a game of football yesterday. But at some point, he's going to want to go on holiday and knows he gets a holiday. And I think that's the other reason why I agree with you. I expect both of them to be done this week, because I think that the footballers will be saying, we need to get these sorted out now. Thank you very much.
Yeah, announcing it last week is, from that point of view, is no good to anyone, really, because the international teams don't want the distractions. And again, it comes down to respect a little bit, and Liverpool pride themselves on being spoken well of from other clubs that they deal with, but I'm sure that goes to internationally as well. So, Hungary, for example, we're going to have 3 players, this time 2 weeks, play for the Hungarian, football team. And so that relationship now is important. And so announcing while he's there, they wouldn't have been too happy with. But also, if it does happen, it's like, okay, well, you can put something out, but do it quickly type thing, or put something out. You can announce it, but that's it. And like you say, that's no good to Liverpool. It's no good for Kerkez. You look at someone like Wirtz. This is our biggest, transfer in decades, really, and so it's not 4 lines on the club website, is it? It's like you say, it's the excellent media team at Liverpool getting creative and thinking of what are the next things that they can do. They put Mo Salah on a throne for a contract extension. Do you know what I mean? Like, what are they going to do for Florian Wirtz? I don't know. They'll come up with something, but all of that is stuff that they want to do, and so it doesn't suit. It didn't.
And they want to do right because it matters to them. Whether there might be some people listening to this say, "Well, that doesn't matter," or "That's not a big deal. That's not this, or that's not that." But Liverpool's partners, for instance, want to see Liverpool get more social engagement than any other club on the planet.
Well, you talk about statement signings as well, and I said this again to Lewis this morning. Said this is a statement signing, and how you make that statement is you make the statement big. And obviously, listen, what really matters is what he does on the pitch, and we all expect him to do phenomenally well, and that's what will be remembered rather than the unveiling. And so, but the unveiling is sort of what's coming up, and they will want to go big on it. They will want to really push ourselves out, and so I think they'll want it before the World Cup Championship starts, because then you compete with something that's a bit of a unknown. So they want it sort of going out then, and they want to be saying, listen, everyone wanted this guy, and he's come to Liverpool, and look at us. And the more he can say, in that interview, the better as well. So, it's all maybe part of modern football that people don't like, but I prefer it when Liverpool are good at it than when we were shit at it. Put it that way, because it seems to be more beneficial.